So, we are here at the annual general meeting of the Trade4SD project in Warsaw, one of the buildings of the Polish Academy of Sciences. And my name is Zoltán Kun from Lumina, and I'm doing an interview with Hilkka from Luke, our Finnish partner. My first question is linked to the start of the project. We started the project, the Trade4SD, 3 years ago. What do you think is the most important outcome so far of our project?
I think it's the getting together and analyzing in a structured way the overall picture of international agricultural trade and SDGs. It's a very complex topic, and it's not very easy to come to grasp with the kind of data that really sheds light on this complex issue. And I think that during these years we've now first of all found the available material there exists, and our colleagues have done a really hard work in using different kinds of models and using different disciplinary approaches as to structuring the phenomenon. And at the same time, I think one of the important or very impactful things has been the collaboration with our sister project MATS, because they are studying exactly the same topic but with a different approach.
You used the word SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, which is a UN-based, over a large umbrella issue. And you mentioned that this project is actually very complex, so the issue that we are looking at is very complex. How do you think we can best translate the outcome in layman terms, so to say, to decision makers or to the general public or the people on the street or maybe to farmers who are one of our target audience? Do you think it's possible to translate our outcomes to the level of policymakers, level of farmers?
It's challenging. It has become clear in many occasions, not only in our work package but also for the others. Problem being that our stakeholders, they mainly target only a few of the dimensions that SDGs and international agricultural trade have to do with. But I think that in providing them with a more overall picture that is also well structured, and now I refer again to the use of models that we have, and also probably if we are able to utilize a foresight view that we are also doing already. So I think that in that way we can communicate it in a better way, and also probably in a more up-to-date way than so far. So I'm fairly optimistic about what we can do. I mean, at least we can contribute to some extent. Maybe we won't be able to empty the whole bank, but some clarity in any case.
And another surprising question, because what you say again is actually quite interesting. Before the European Parliament elections, and I'm from Hungary, you are from Finland, both of us from EU member states, in some of the countries there were big farmers' protests. Do you think that they impacted anyhow our work? Did it shape your thinking, your personal thinking? Anyhow, that seeing farmers on the street protesting against sometimes climate goals or climate targets?
Yes, and not only these protests, but the result of the elections. So in the short run, it doesn't look very good as to adopting efficient policy measures against climate change, for example. But But this is the political climate where we are in, and so I think that we need to adjust our policy recommendations, for example, to the current setting. So we just have to sort of zoom it to who we have and what are the sort of potential deeds that they can really carry on.
So in a way, as you said, we adjust our policy recommendations. Is almost to me sounds like we had an interesting reality check through the protest,
yes.
And that helps to shape the project. You mentioned our policy recommendations, and we actually passed, as we said earlier, 3 years of the project, but we still have 1 year to go. So my question is, what will be your main focus in the coming 12 months? How will you contribute to the project in the coming 12 months?
It is that we are going to combine all our results in a position paper on policy coherence within the EU. And here we will now be able to harvest the results from other work packages and combine them with the work we've done in our own work package, but also referring to what we just discussed, I think that we should not lower our ambition level as to the policy recommendations, for example, but we need to think it over. What does it mean in terms of practical acts and how they will find their way, and how we could best support the policy makers and decision takers, both those who prepare decisions and those who take the decisions. Mm-hmm. Support them.
Yeah, so we can influence potentially the European Commission, the various DGs, but we can also potentially influence the new European Parliament. My last question is that you mentioned, or you kind of referred to the cooperation between the various work packages. We have 8 in the project, but could you highlight how your team actually benefited from the project? Is there something that you really would like to highlight as a benefit for Hilkka or your own team coming from Trade4SD?
This multidisciplinarity for the first, but I think that our project is strong in models and in using models, as well as our knowledge on international trade agreements. So these are things that, although I have some background in agricultural economics myself, but I am a political scientist, so I've learned a lot about the differences between the different models, and they are also, better understanding of those is also useful for Hilkka. And also then understanding more in detail the current status in the trade negotiations and as to trade agreements. These are very valuable for Hilkka in our future work as well. And of course it's been great working with all these colleagues, and we look forward to cooperating in other projects as well.
Yeah, hopefully that will actually happen, because I know that some of the team members are working on Horizon projects, or at least they are watching the calls from Horizon Europe. Thanks very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Zoltan.